It pains me to say this as a Spurs fan, but Arsenal genuinely are elite. They are now top of the league. They weren't at their best tonight, but we all know the best teams don't have to be at their best to get results. And Kai Havertz has just delivered a massive goal in this title race, which now sends Arsenal top of the league. And we've seen plenty of times throughout football title races that there becomes a result in certain games, in certain seasons, and something just happens for you. I don't think Arsenal were at their best by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think they were as fluid without David Raya, but we're going to dive straight into it. If you're new to the channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button. We actually launched this channel about 2.5 weeks ago, and now we're pushing 2,000 subscribers. So big up to every single one of you who's watching, who's shown support, who's commented. I love each and every single one of you, but we're here to talk about Arsenal. And I think the last 3 videos have been on Arsenal. I'm sick and tired of talking about them, but it's a Premier League title race. If you haven't already, please do go down, smash that like button. If we could hit 200 likes, that would be absolutely insane. Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. Now, it almost seems like I've got a lot of friends that are Arsenal fans. I've got a couple of relatives that are Arsenal fans, and then the rest of the family Spurs. But I've got a lot of friends that, and I almost get the vibe from Arsenal fans is they're going into these games nervous. Despite their recent form, they are blowing teams away. I think that's 8 wins in the league on the bounce, coming back from that international kind of break from Dubai. They have been very, very good. They've had a hiccup in the Champions League, but it's a bit different. Teams are a little bit more technical, more, one touch pass and move. Premier League's very much pace and power. That's the narrative we get. But what they've done today is Arsenal have kind of proved to a lot of the City, Spurs, Chelsea, all these rival fans that they are in this till the very, very end. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that Arsenal were at their best today. Big, big goals from new signings, Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. And 65 million down the drain, Kai Havertz has now got 8 Premier League goals, which in a team where he's played the 8 role, he's played the 10, he's played striker, he's played out wide, he's played absolutely everywhere. And he comes up tonight with a big, big goal. He scored against Sheffield United. He scored against Newcastle. He's now we're starting to see what we actually thought Havertz would do, but it's taken, as a Spurs fan, I can't stand the guy, I hate his guts. But you have to take your Spurs hat off and say, look, he's doing the business right now. We're starting to see what we may thought. I thought he would do horrendous at the beginning of the season. I thought it was a bad signing. I thought there's no way 65 million in terms of the transfer market value, Kai Havertz is worth it. But he's kind of putting all these haters to one side and he's delivering. And Brentford had a few chances tonight. Wissa scored. But this the perfect scenario for the title race is that either Arsenal or City win and this goes to the wire. The form that Arsenal are in right now, I've already said, I personally believe they won't go far in Europe. I don't think Arsenal have got the experience. I don't think Arsenal have got the overall squad to compete in Europe. It's completely different. We saw Arsenal's performance against Porto. It was their worst performance in their last 9 games. When you look at their league form, however, they're doing the business. They genuinely are a very, very, very good football team. And it pains me to say that because I hate every single thing about the football club. But I'm a football fan. I like watching football. I enjoy watching football. And right now, Arsenal it pains me to say it, but they are a very good team. And they've won again tonight. Now, when you look at their fixtures they've got coming up, Porto in the Champions League, Manchester City away, which I personally believe City will get the better of them. And I know Arsenal fans are going to be coming at me in the comments, but I think City are a better team. Then you look at their next run of games, Luton at home, Brighton away, Villa at home, Wolves away. Their fixtures are very well placed out for them when it comes to a title race. Arsenal have got to be licking their lips now, thinking as we have got to be at our best to match Liverpool and City. That's what they're going to be thinking. However, there is one team and one team only, and I will say this again: there is one team and one team only who will decide this title race, and it's not Arsenal, it's not Liverpool, and it's not City. Tottenham have got to play all three teams. Genuinely, Tottenham could decide who wins this title race. Now Arsenal fans will probably be saying Spurs is an easy game, a North London derby. I don't care who you've got in your team. I've seen Thierry Henry, Perez, Bergkamp, Vieira, all these great players. They still haven't managed to beat Spurs on a certain day. Tottenham genuinely could decide this title race. That being said, Arsenal right now are doing all they can to match Manchester City and Liverpool. Now, if tomorrow's game, which for me is the biggest game in the title race, I know Arsenal are top of the league right now, but Man City and Liverpool are the better teams. They've been doing this longer. Liverpool have won a title. Man City have won a title. Man City have won a treble. Man City have won every trophy you can imagine in the last calendar year, winning 5. That's the biggest game in the Premier League title race. If that finishes a draw, which is very likely, the game at the Etihad earlier this season was a draw, and Arsenal or Liverpool can beat Manchester City if it is tomorrow, I actually genuinely think they might do it. I don't think they're going to get past the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Genuinely, I don't. I think they've got a very, very good squad, but I don't know if they've got the experience to go into the latter stages, semis, quarters, finals of the Champions League. And I think if they carry on with this form, relentlessly scoring goals, the highest goal scorers in the league, winning 8 Premier League games on the bounce, which is absolutely insane, and the games they've got coming up, I don't see a reason why Arsenal don't win the Premier League. As much as Liverpool and Man City are juggernauts of the Premier League right now, they've still got FA Cup to play. Man City have got a tough game. Liverpool have got a tough game away to Manchester United. If they both get through, then you're looking at the Champions League. I think there's more chance of Liverpool getting to the latter stages of the Europa League. I think there's more chance of Manchester City getting to the latter stage of the Champions League. I don't think Arteta's European record is that great. He's gone out to Olympiacos. He's gone out to, the likes of flipping Sporting Lisbon at home. I don't think it's that good. And if they get knocked out, it gives them a straight run in the Premier League. And Arsenal fans will be thinking, we've got 10 finals now. They've got 10 games to go. If they win 8 of the... I think Arsenal have got to win 8 games out of their last 10. Maybe 9. If they win 9 of their last 10, I think they'll win the league. Genuinely, I do. And it pains me to say this because everyone's been giving them crap the last kind of 12 to 24 months, 1 to 2 years. Trust the process. And as a Spurs fan, I've crucified them when things haven't gone right. And everyone's been kind of saying, you're not as good as Man City, you're not as good as Liverpool. And you know what? Every now and then you've got to take your supporting hat off, whoever you support, and just admit that they are a fantastic team. I mean, I've as a Spurs fan, I've been through so much pain and misery and all the adjectives you want to use about Tottenham. I've been there, I've seen it, I've done it, I've wore the t-shirt. But right now, for the first time in a long time, we have got a title race where 3 teams could win the league. But it's such fine margins between City, Liverpool and Arsenal. And if this carries on, and I think this will carry on until the very, very last game, if Manchester City, this is how fine margin this is. If Man City beat Liverpool at Anfield and beat Arsenal at the Etihad, Man City win the league. If Liverpool beat Man City and win the rest of their games, they win the league. If Arsenal can somehow, Liverpool and City get a draw and Arsenal go to the Etihad, then they win the league. We are talking such fine margins in the Premier League, the best league in the world, the most competitive league in the world right now. For a long time, we are blessed to see a title race like this. Genuinely, we are. Let me know your thoughts down below if you haven't already. Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. They've got a game Tuesday night. We'll be covering every single big game, every single match reaction review, every single big moment in the Premier League. And we've got a massive game of football tomorrow. Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Villa. We will be covering it all. So make sure you like the video if you haven't already. And I will see you all soon. Thank you all for watching. I am